Goals. Major problem. Look at this, Premier League goals. Since the start of November, Chelsea have 6, which is the joint fewest with Everton amongst the top 4 leagues in English football. 4 fewer than Bournemouth has scored, and Bournemouth are second bottom. And 4 fewer than Marcus Rashford scored by himself, and Erling Haaland as well. Tim Howard, when you have the cast that Chelsea have, how is that possible?
It's not possible. There's no excuses. There's no excuses for it. They scored 23 goals in 24 games all season. We're going to talk about Graham Potter quite a lot in this chat, and I think when the pressure that he's under, these players have to take such responsibility. I think if you're going to give a reason or an excuse, new manager comes in, there's different ways that he wants to play and line up, and there's patterns of play. Ultimately, the players on the pitch have to be responsible. When they see an opportunity to go, these world-class players, they need to go. They need to score goals. They need to be goal-hungry. And that's not happened. And I think the players are using some of the tactics and some of the new manager stuff as an excuse, because really, these players are so incredibly talented. There's way more goals in this team.
Robbie, there are messages, mixed messages coming out of Stamford Bridge. I'm hearing senior players are against Potter. I'm hearing senior players are with Potter. We're hearing 1 minute that the owners are going to give him these 2 games, this one and the game against Dortmund, and then decide. And then we hear, actually, they want to try and keep him for the whole of next season as well. The messages coming out of Stamford Bridge are difficult to read. How do you read it?
That it is difficult, and it's the board, isn't it? The board seems to be split about how much to support Graham Potter. The plan would have been, obviously, for this season, for next season, then you start to judge him then. But I think you can't go on like that. This can't continue. This form can't continue. It's tough not to score, given the squad that they've got. And also, by the way, Aubameyang, and I know he's not been an angel at certain clubs, and I know he's not maybe the future of this club. He's a proven goal scorer. When you've gone so many games where they have, without looking like scoring or lacking those goals, I think it's time for him to play. Now, he's on the bench today, and again, Kai Havertz gets another opportunity. Now, just to follow on from your point, Tim, and I get it. Of course, the players cross the line. They're the ones who've got to make it happen. But I still think that Graham Potter's message, his philosophy, is still very much patience with the football. Slow football that's not direct or vertical, as they call it now, gives teams opportunities to settle behind the ball, to get their defensive shape, because Chelsea still is a big name and a big club, and teams will be happy to do that. Now, when that happens, that's really hard to stop. So a little bit more direct, maybe a little bit more pressing to try and force turnover to score goals, and then just turn the dial up, Graham. Turn the dial up. This can't continue. Everybody's aware of what the issues are. He's got to find a way with this group to turn up the attacking dial, to force more chances to score goals. This is insane.
Tim, take us into a dressing room. When players start to lose faith in the manager, it's because results are not going their way for a long time. This has been a long time. Can a manager find a way to restore that faith? Is it possible?
Oh, it's an incredibly tough question, because I look at that question from the other side of it, which I've talked about all along with Chelsea. Chelsea is a club that has always been about, at least for the last 20 years, player power. And I still think there's a little bit of that in there, where the players know that they can down tools. They can get the manager sacked. It's been proven over and over again. I didn't think it would happen with this group of players. But again, I'm trying to think, who is the glue at this club? There are Robbie Mustoe touched on, there's so many new players, new faces, big price tags in this club. I don't know who the glue is. I don't know if Graham Potter even knows who his guys are. If the guys he can bring in and say, you're my guy, you lead. So when I look at the dressing room, it's split. I would say, in terms of the pressure, when you asked Robbie Mustoe the question, the pressure is, the board ideally would like to keep him. No one wants to hire and fire a manager. They want to keep him. But the results have been so terrible that you have to look at him being under pressure and look at what the alternatives are.
So at some point, right, of course, the answer is to everything is win. Yes. Win. Mikel Arteta, first few games at Arsenal, lost those games. All of a sudden, the pressure's on, he starts winning. And then back to your question about the dressing room, then they get behind the guy. We're seeing it play out right now with Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag, who is this guy, what's his philosophy? Oh, terrible start, first few games. Then all of a sudden, when the wins start to come, the respect starts to come from the dressing room. They start to believe in the manager, and everything rolls on. Right now, the players are like, what is going on? Until he can start winning games, then you talk about splits and different rumours coming out of dressing rooms. It's going to continue. He's got to start winning games.
If he loses today, chances of him being fired before the next Premier League game?
I still think it's pretty low. I think he'll get a little bit more time.
Gets higher. It definitely gets higher.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.